Hey, how you guys doing? Cheers. This is just water, not wine, not coffee. So I hope everything is well with you guys. Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Hello. Yeah, so VKKV has started. Let's say in the comments, say where you're coming from. Say hello from whatever part of the world you happen to be in, your state or your country or whatever region you feel comfortable mentioning. I'm just always curious to know who's from where and why. Hello from Austria, Vienna. Very cool. I thought I'd do an earlier stream today for people who are from Europe and Africa and Asia to make it a little easier for you guys to join in. Trying to find balance. Oh, yeah. Seaweed. Let's see what we got here. Why do you believe very few developers use test-driven development when it is a very effective method which makes code base much more robust? Does that make sense for me? Doesn't make sense. Well, it's because there's effort in doing that. Now, problem with TDD, test-driven development, is that your code base, especially in the early stages of a piece of software, production software, is changing quite a bit, and you keep on having to change your tests all the time. So it's a big hassle. So I advise people, when you have your first version out and your core code base is pretty consistent, and you know the use case very well, then at that time you can start implementing tests perhaps. That's pretty much what's going on. So yeah, so let's do this. Hello from Poland, from another Poland, from North Korea, from Latvia. North Korea, really? I wonder if that's true. Hello from Slovakia, first time here actually. Hey, welcome to the stream, dude. From the UK, from Melbourne, U.S. state, city, hire a web developer. What's U.S. states or city that hire a web developer more? Well, you have to check the stats, dude. If you created your own commercial product that you sell and later in life you work for a company, can they ask you to create a product that belongs to you for them? Can they ask you to create a product that belongs to you for them? Well, they can't take your code from you. That's not what they can do. But if they're paying you to write new code, and you happen to have experience developing that type of system, it's their code. If they're paying you to write the code. Blaine says, your training is amazing, man, and totally worth it. Hey, I appreciate the thumbs up there. I really do. Completed some of the courses already in a few days. I've owned it, and I'm amazed at the quality. Thank you. Hey, well, congratulations, Blaine, for completing the courses. That's fantastic. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, so I have a different approach from teaching just about anybody else out there. I teach the foundations. I teach the basics. My teaching methods are based on two things. A, my martial arts background, so I implement a lot of Asian principles of education. And also based on the fact I've been working with schools for a decade now, and we have a very advanced 21st century style of education, not the old school way that most people do still. So yeah, thanks. I'm glad. Thanks for letting me know. Hello from France. Bonjour, monsieur Eric. J'espère que tout ça va bien avec toi. Hello. Hey, hell from Puerto Rico. Hello from India. Very cool. Hello from Italy. Node.js versus Django. What would you pick? Depends on the job. My leanings are towards Node, but it depends on the job. Oh, by the way, guys, for the algorithms, if you can give me a thumbs up, I would much appreciate it. It tells the Google AI that, hey, this is a stream worth watching. So I would appreciate thumbs up if you will. If you hate my long hair, give me 2 thumbs down. Not 1, but 2 to show how, anyway. What makes a software developer into a software engineer? I guess the degree that you get. Thanks for the thumbs ups, guys. You can argue the point, but I know a software engineer might dispute that fact. But at the end of the day, it's a distinction without a difference, in my opinion, in terms of practical use. High quality products and services, priestess. Yeah, I guess. What do you think about Xamarin? Have not used it. If I know Django quite well, will it be difficult for me to jump onto .NET? How much does they differ? I think it won't be too difficult. There's some significant differences, but it's very similar in many respects. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll learn .NET pretty quickly, so I wouldn't be too concerned. What is your opinion about getting your first job? I've talked about this many times. You can look at previous streams. I got to put that on FAQ. How to get your first job. Did I put that out? I forget what I put out on YouTube, what I put in the mentoring group. I got thousands of videos. So should I grab any job I can grab, even if it's unpaid, in order to get... Yes, your first couple of jobs, I say do 2 to 3 freelance projects for free to gain that all-important experience. Hey, Didi, how are you doing? So, Pakistan, hello, Sharik. Thank you, I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Do you prefer statically typed languages? Depends on what I'm doing. I like the idea of strongly typed languages. I know they're not exactly the same, but I like the speed of dynamic languages. It's speed of development, not runtime. I said best language text to learn, work as a digital nomad. Probably the web stack, probably HTML, CSS, some JavaScript, maybe PHP, a lot of PHP work. Other than that, maybe mobile development, iOS. Hello, Guatemala. Hey, how are you? Philippines. Wow. Can you share your journey as a developer? How did you encounter difficulties? Yeah, I've done a few stories on that. Maybe I could do a dedicated one. How are we doing here? 89. Okay, not bad. I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. It's good for the algos. I have done everything and still can't get a job. Well, it depends. Have you put up a good resume site? Have you made sure it looks good? Have you made sure your copy is good? Have you done 2 to 3 free projects for people to develop some real skills and then profile those projects on your resume site? Let me know. In a week, I will start your Python course. I can't wait for it. First experience coding. Hey, cool. Congratulations. Have fun with it. Take your time. Some learning tips. In coding, people make mistakes all the time, so don't worry about making mistakes. Making mistakes in coding is par for the course. It's like breathing and running. And write code. Try to do 20 minutes a day. Give yourself a couple of days off a week. Off the top of my head, some learning tips there. Zakaria Bilal. Hello, my friend. I just have a question. If I learn React and Flutter for front end, and I use Mango or MySQL for database and Node.js for back end, what do you say about that? If it works for you, and if there's job opportunities in that, sure. What I would do is now, I assume you know your basics. I would now look around, see what the job market is like in the area in which you want to work. So I don't know where you happen to live. But just check out the local job opportunities and see what the demand is. Find out what the demand is, and then decide what technologies to wrap your head around based on that. Hello, Stefan. I'm trying to get out of tutorial purgatory. Yeah. So I started doing tutorial projects. Is tutorial projects okay, or do I need to start projects from scratch? What if I don't know some things? If you don't know some things, that's called being a developer. There's no developer in the world who knows everything. So if you can do your basics, you can put up a basic app. Doesn't mean you have to know everything. Then you're ready to go out there and to do 2 to 3 small starter projects for free. This is going to have a huge impact in terms of confidence building and so forth, okay? So that's what you got to do. All right, let me just get to a couple of quick announcements before I go on. 16 minutes in. So, for those of you who've done my Lizard Wizard course, I'll just take a screenshot here. So my Lizard Wizard course, if you don't know, is my advanced psychology and communications course. People really like it. So I just put it out recently. You learn lizard dating techniques and what your gut feelings are, etc. It's going to help you with your coding career. It's going to help you with your business career. It's going to help you with your jobs, date, everything. It's really, I think it's probably the best course I've put out thus far. So why am I mentioning this course? Because I'm putting out something new for free, and it's based on Lizard Wizard. So this first course here, it gives you the foundations to understand how your brain works and some techniques. So what I'm coming out with is, well, let me just show you. I asked this on a, recently on a, I did a survey here. You notice there's, in the survey, over 1,000 people voted, 1K vote. So So I'll just read what I wrote. I am thinking of delivering a new type of free course via emails where you get new lessons every 2 days or so. The emails will prompt you to watch the new video lesson, kind of like an email coach. So I asked if people were interested. 1,000 people participated and 73% said they like that idea. So with that in mind, I decided the very first of this type of email delivery, it's a pilot for me, and it's free. I think I'm going to call it Lizard Wizard The Daily Spells. The Daily Spells. And essentially, it's going to be a very practical, it's not going to be a course, it's more of exercises. So you're going to sign up for free, and I'll set up the list probably in the next couple of days. I'll make a big announcement. And you sign up, and then every 2 days or so, I will be sending out a email blast. And in there will contain an exercise to do. And it's going to be with regards to Lizard Wizard, brain training stuff. And if you're not interested in this, you should be, because we'll help you as a coder, we'll help you in your daily lives, we'll help you in all kinds of different areas. So it's going to be called Lizard Wizard Daily Spells. And the idea is you're going to get this email. It's going to prompt you, okay, today, this is what you got to do today. And this is all very advanced psychology training, communication training. So then you have to go out and do what it is I suggest you do in this email. And then you get another one in a couple of days later, et cetera, et cetera. I'll be tracking to see who opens the emails. If you open the email, you'll get the next one. If you don't, you won't get the next task. And at the end of the period, it's going to be about a week or so of these tasks that come every other day. We'll do a live and we'll do a little Q&A and see how people did with these tasks. Why would you want to do these tasks? Because you're going to start strengthening your lizard brain, which will make you a much more formidable person. There's a reason it's called Lizard Wizard, because once you understand and master your lizard brain, you become a wizard. So so that's coming up very soon. I'm very excited about this because it's a whole new way of teaching. It's kind of a push teaching, coaching situation. So it's less about theory. It's much more about practical application of Lizard Wizard principles as taught here. You don't need to get the Lizard Wizard course to do it, but it will help because you understand the various techniques involved in this. So there you go. So it's based on that, and we had a pretty good interest, 1,000 people. So I figured, hey, let's go with it. So let me get back to some Q&A. Again, help me out, bros and gals. Give me some thumbs up. It helps with the algorithms. Stef, I ate too much food. How many hours I should fast? Okay, you should, I'm not sure what time it is. The easiest fasting to do is to avoid the breakfast and the lunch and maybe have a late lunch or an early supper. So let's say you ate too much, you went to a party, you ate too much, you wolfed down tons of food at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, 10, you had a bunch of beers. So next day, don't do breakfast. Drink water, coffee if your body can handle it, and maybe skip lunch if you can. You want to try to get in maybe 16 hours, 18 hours. It seems like a lot, but it isn't because you're going to sleep, 7, 8 hours? So you already took care of a lot of it. So yeah, just skip breakfast the next morning and maybe have a late lunch or an early supper. That's what I would do. And drinking coffee can suppress the appetite. Drinking fizzy water, fizzy like Perrier or something, that will help suppress the appetite. That is my tips in that regard. Hello from Serbia. Should I use strict types in PHP? Declare strict types. There could be some advantages to that. I don't think it's 100% necessary. Philippines. PHP is very performant without having to use strict types. You can use it though. It will help with certain. It could help with speed potentially. I have to look at what strict types, how it impacts PHP's processing. I would imagine make it a bit faster, a bit more performant, and it would help reduce some bugs or debugging at least anyway. All right. How would you see software development as a soft skill for people working in other fields? How would you see software development as a soft skill? Software development is not a soft skill, so I'm not sure what you mean by that question. We are not here to tell you what to think when you miss the point of what I'm telling you what to think. Bonjour from Serbia. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. Hey, Stef. Hey, hologram, how are you, man? How's it going? My name is Ufuk. Could you pronounce it? I tried. I don't know. You tell me if it's good, Ufuk. I don't know if that's the best I can do. How much do you love Ruby on Rails from 0 to 10? I'm a Django developer. I see that I have to deal with a lot of development stuff like Docker, Kubernetes. Is it possible to transition to DevOps later, or should I even? I would stick to coding, dude. I would stick to application development because I think that there's a move already towards the simplification of DevOps so that people don't have to be DevOps masters to do things. Yeah, so what else do we got here? Done it. Want my phone to be live stream with both cameras to all. Hello from Argentina, Slovakia here. Hi from Seattle. Very cool. How do you keep motivated through the learning journey? By making the daily task of learning the goal. So you get the dopamine hit. Again, I'm not going to, I guess I'll shamelessly self-promote. Take my Lizard Wizard course, man. This is going to be extremely helpful for you. You go to Lizard Wizard, school.studioweb/store, Lizard Wizard. That will help you quite a bit in that regard. Or you can see the URL up here. Yeah. If in terms of motivations and so forth. Yes, psychology shouldn't be underestimated. Let me go back here. Psychology should not be underestimated when it comes to learning things in business. You have to really get the handle of that. I've known some people who are extremely intelligent, but because they have problems in the head, their lives are more difficult than they need to be. Stef, so do you like React? I looked at it briefly. It seems like a good product. I have nothing bad to say against it. Stef, when starting a service SaaS, how much money should you expect to put down for marketing to get the product in front of people? That's a good question, Keith. It really depends on the industry that you're in. It depends on the industry that you're in. Depends how much social pull you may have, what kind of context you have. Maybe certain, depending on the type of SaaS that you have, maybe it's a B2B SaaS that online marketing is going to have no impact whatsoever. I remember I paid, I don't know how much did I spend. I forget what I spent 1 year. I spent $25,000 in the early years of Studioweb just to see what would happen, and it didn't yield any results because it was not the way to market in that market. So you're gonna have to study that. Are you not afraid of bugs when coding in dynamically typed language? Well, yeah, you got bugs, but there's other advantages with dynamically typed languages, and you're gonna get bugs with strongly typed languages as well. Trust me, I did a lot of Java code. What do you think about new trend of low code and zero code development? Is everybody going to become developers? Is everybody these type of tools have been around for years. I see in the coding and development world, I see iterations of similar technology. No code solutions have been around since the 90s. They've gotten better today, but they're still not going to replace coders. And a big part about being a developer is not writing code, by the way. So. Stef, regular on your Insta streams, first time on YouTube. This is great. You're awesome. I appreciate that, Vin. Thanks for joining, by the way. I don't know. I wonder how many people just do my Instagram and don't know my YouTubes. That's interesting. Yeah, let me just jump in a little bit to... so I'm also now... I'm going to have to shamelessly self-promote this. Here we go. Where is it? Here we go. So... about a year ago, I started my mentoring group and got in a bunch of people, and it's been a success. And so now I'm talking about it a bit more again. I'm bringing in more people again. I only bring in what I can handle in terms of load. So if you're interested, studioweb.com/mentoring. It's my most advanced program. You get access to everything. You learn more about it here. I won't go into the advertisement here, but here you go. This will be of interest. You go to studioweb.com/mentoring, and you can scroll down a bit, and you'll see this form here. And if you sign up on this, and there's no obligation, you get access immediately to this free webinar called the Coder's Career Paths, 29-minute webinar, and it will help you to understand the different languages that are out there, what their jobs like if you're doing C++ versus JavaScript versus PHP versus Python, what to expect, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a good webinar to watch if you're new to code or you're just getting into it or you're thinking about it. This will give you a nice overview of the whole industry. Because, when you're coding in C++, it's a very different game than if you're coding in JavaScript or even PHP or Java for that matter. So yeah, if you go to my studioweb.com/mentoring, you can get access to this free webinar. Why am I doing the newsletter? Because I've heard by so many people have told me that they don't get the notifications from YouTube or they don't get the notifications from Instagram. So I want to have direct communications with you through the newsletter. And I'm going to be putting more and more premium content that I'm only going to deliver to newsletter subscribers as my gift, as my appreciation for you joining the newsletter. And I won't spam you. The one thing I get complaints from people is I don't send enough newsletters. So you may get a couple a week, maybe 3 a week. But these days I'm sending once every 2 weeks or so, or once a week. So yeah, the newsletter, I invite you to sign up. Studioweb.com mentoring. And also, if you're interested in the mentoring, which is my most premium program, I'm opening that up to new people as well. I don't know how many people I'll be able to take on. I just want to make sure I don't take on too many people because I want to be able to give everybody the attention that they need. Anyway, so there it is. There it is for you guys, just in case you're interested. Let's go in. When unit tests is useful. Unit tests, I think, are useful once you have a pretty solid use case in your application. And when you have your first iteration of the software is out, where your base class, your base framework, if you will, the base code base is pretty solid. If you don't understand any of this, then you need to learn more before I would get into unit test. So that's when I would use it. Hello from Miami, 29-year-old. Hey, good age, good spot to be, man. Do you think machine learning engineer can find sustainable income in freelancing? That's a good question. I don't know. Or is this role more suited to a company setting? My instinct would be it's more of a company setting type of thing. But you may be, I don't know about freelancing, but you may be able to find a lot of contract work where they'll bring you in 6 months and pay you an exorbitant amount of money. Think about this with regards to contracting, where they bring you in for 6 months or 3 months. Typically, they're going to pay you double, triple per hour versus the yearly rate. What do I mean by that? But so let's say I'm just going to use round numbers for the sake of the explanation. Let's say normal salary for machine learning is 100,000 a year. It's more, I think, depending where you are. So let's say it's 100K a year for the sake of argument, and so that equates to $50 the hour. If you want to calculate how much, what a per hour wage equals per year, you just multiply the per hour wage by 2 and times 1,000. So 50 times 2 is 100 times 1,000, 100,000. So if they were hiring you as a contractor, they'll probably pay you, 90, $100 the hour if they bring you in for 3 months or bring you in for 6 months. So the advantage is that you'll be working for double the rate, practically, or more, depending on your skills and your ability to negotiate. The key is the inconsistency of the work. Like, you may get a contract for 6 months, and then will you have another contract ready? That depends, again, on your skills of networking and communication, so forth. That's one of the reasons why I have a course, Lizard Wizard, on psychology and communication. This will help you set all this up. So yeah, that's the advantage of being a contractor. You can make double your money or more than you would be as a full-timer, but you have to have some hustle. You have to have some hustle to be able to do that. I hope that makes sense. Vanos, brother of Thanos. Have you any experience using Python or in a large system base? No, not in a large system base, no. It seems a bit scary when you don't have static typing. Yeah, well, just make sure you write very simple, clean code, dude, Marco says, I'm 35 years old. Is it too late to become a front-end or full dev stack developer? Greetings from Serbia. No, not at all, because you can be up and running as a junior within months, and within 3 to 4 years, you'll be pretty advanced, and you'll still be relatively young. Do you use image CDNs? Looking to use Cloudinary for my next project. You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. It could be them. But an image CDN actually reached out to me. They want me to promote it, and I checked out their stuff, and boy, did their images load quick. There's no question about that. So it could be advantageous just to create a real zippy experience for your users. So I'm not against it. Hi, Stef. I'm 17-year-old, good age, by the way, and have a couple of projects on my portfolio. Cool. How can I get my first client? Put up a really nice-looking website. Make sure the website is well-written and clear and professional, and then showcase your projects, and then start reaching out to clients and tell them don't tell them your age. And if they ever ask, say you're 18 and you have a lot of experience. All right. Can't let anybody be the voice of this body. Love my words, speak for themselves. All right. There we go. We got some new age action going on here. New student of yours, currently on Chapter 4 HTML Foundations. Hey, cool, man. Well, thanks for picking up the course. I hope you are enjoying it. Take your time. It's going to ramp up. It's going to ramp up. It's going to get more and more complex. One of the things I do in my courses, it's because I'm lizard aware, is that I start them off really easy, silly jokes, make them funny. So what this does, it trains your emotional self, your lizard brain, to say, hey, this stuff is kind of fun. And what happens is your brain is going to be more open to learning new things afterwards. Believe me, it works. It's one of the things that I do. What's going on here? Here it is. Is 7 hours enough for everyday training to become a dev? That's much more than enough. I recommend 3 to 4 hours, and then go do some exercise, drink some water, relax. I have 6 hours a day job. I don't do anything else. How many hours out of a job should I stay so I don't overwork? Let your body and your mind tell you. Some days you may be able to only do half an hour. Other days you could do 2-3 hours. I know from it, I can tell you the science shows is frequency of exposure is actually more important in many respects than how much time you spend. So let's say you come home from work, it's been a tiring day, just do 20 minutes. That's why one of the reasons my courses are designed like hundreds of little lessons, so you can do 1 or 2 direct. They average 6 minutes. So let's say you're tired one day, you come home, you just do 20 minutes, you do 2-3 lessons, do the quizzing, do the code challenges, and you're done. And you push the ball forward, but more importantly, you're exposing your brain to this new stuff. The more iterations, the more often it sees stuff, the more quickly the brain's going to rewire itself. After you do some learning, drink some water, get some rest, etc., etc. So there you go. How come the mouse hasn't evolved over the years? Instead of a click, it should make a crunching sound noise. The best mouse I have ever used is this one here. This is the Logitech, what is it? The MX Master 3. Best mouse I ever used. I did a review for them, and I was super impressed. I don't review products that I think are no good. I only review products that I think are worthy of your attention. By the way, I get so many review requests. It's unbelievable. I don't have a CS degree. How can I become a WordPress developer? You don't need a CS degree to become a WordPress developer, to become a Django developer, to become a JavaScript developer, become a PHP developer. You don't need a CS degree for any of those, and many, many more. Hello, Christy from Hawaii. How you doing? I hope everything is well. All right, what are we doing? How are we doing for time? All right, so we're getting close to 40 minutes. We'll be wrapping this up soon. If I am a Python developer, would I ever get a project by a company which includes C++ or JavaScript or any other programming language I have not mastered? It's possible. It depends on how deep your skills are. If you're a Python developer, you should be able to learn JavaScript fairly quickly. What I suggest is when you do go looking for a job, you have to position yourself for those jobs, Yeah. Thanks everybody for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. It's just good for the Google algorithm, so people are made aware of these. Have you ever had to be drug tested for a developer job? No, because I've never worked for anybody else as a developer full-time. I did some contract work, but I never worked for anybody, so I never had drug tests. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, it's a lot of that's true, but it's also a lot of money in it. Have you ever had to be drug tested? No, okay, I did that one. Let her pound the like button. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, JC. That's good. Yeah, it's good for the algos. So, you know. Did you get any rejections today? No, you know what? I'll give you a sneak peek. One of the daily spells from the upcoming email-based delivery system I talked about, the Lizard daily spells, one of them is getting rejected. I have a few variations of that. It's going to be included. Have you tried getting rejected yet? Getting rejected is fantastic. It's fantastic. We have actually somebody, we have the country gal from Singapore on the Instagram. She was rejecting people for free, right there on Instagram. It's fantastic training. All right. Hologram nunchuck, lizard wizard, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to be expanding them. Nice. I always wanted to be a wizard. Exactly. Trust me, it's going to be some fun stuff. I'll let you know. There'll be an announcement, and you just join the list. It's going to be free, and it's going to be a whole new delivery system. They call it push content delivery. So it's going to be like almost like me calling you up. Hey, this is your task for today. I've been working as a WordPress dev since 6 years. I hate it when coding in WordPress. I love when coding for other stuff on other languages. Yeah, well, you're not the only one. Hey people, your questions won't show up if any of you use curse words, okay? Feel free to rewrite your question. Oh, there you go. Dee Dee's on the job. She's keeping you guys in order. David says, hey Stefan, on Monday I'm going to start a project with 4 developers. First one in the group. What's the best approach to this? First one with group. Communication skills are going to be very important. I don't know if you're the leader or not. I take it you're not. That's okay. Good communication and listen to other people's ideas, make suggestions, et cetera. Very important. Do you think PHP will fade away in the future of back-end development? No, I don't think so. It's too big now. I took a course on PHP, quite confused if I should continue or switch to another language. It depends on the type of work you want to do, but PHP is the dominant server-side programming language. Server-side, it's everywhere. It's quite it's everywhere. Why SQL consumes space while MongoDB not? I know what you mean by that question. Hi from Lithuania. Very good. Do AI need self-aware to be able to solve problems like a human? That's a good, I don't know, you would have to ask an AI scientist, but I think AI is far from being there. Oh, it was a joke, okay. What's the difference between Complete Web Entrepreneur and your mentoring program? The mentoring program contains everything I have, including the Web Entrepreneur. And it contains all the certifications. You get access to the private groups, the private Zoom meetings bi-weekly. We have we have hours and hours of video on there, but we don't have anywhere else. What else there? Private consultations as an option. So the Web Entrepreneur are 2 courses, and they're great courses, but the whole mentoring program is a whole bunch more. If you want to learn more about it, just go to this studioweb.com/mentoring. There's a video you can watch. You can learn about what's in there and what you get. It's kind of like my version of a boot camp, but I think it's far more advanced, you know. But that's I'm biased there. All right, what else we got going on? All right. I graduated from chemical engineering program. Congratulations, by the way. No easy task. I want to learn programming to enhance my career. What language and fields of programming should I learn? If you have a job, find out what languages they use at your place of work. If they don't, look around in engineering, chemical engineering in your region. Find out what languages they tend to use. It might be Java, it might be C#. Who knows? It might be Python. I don't know. So you want to take a look at that, and then based on that information, you make your choice. Whatever language you learn, by the way, it will be good. It will be good. Lizard Wizard is a great course. I got it. Good stuff. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Cheers. Yeah. People really like it. So I'm quite pleased. It was fun making. I'm going to shamelessly self-promote because exposure is always good. Can you guys see this? I don't know. What's going on here? Hold on. There we go. That's it. Lizard Wizard. There we go. A little bug in the software. Anyway, that's it. It's my advanced psych course. I had a lot of fun making it. So there's a lot of good material in here. I want to show you table of contents. How the lizard brain learns, how the lizard controls your emotion. The lizard runs the games, the king. Anyway, it goes on and on. It's quite good. So a lot of these books though. You buy a book, it's like 400 pages, and it could be 20 pages, right? And they really stretch it out. I do the opposite. So it's about 2 hours of training. Other people may have put that training in 14 hours. I put it in 2. Get right to the point quick, because we're all busy, right? So Lizard doesn't want to wait around. All right. Hello from Lebanon. Welcome to the stream. Which books do you recommend for mastering JavaScript? I would get the refactoring book. Look on the link below. You'll find a book on refactoring in JavaScript. That's what I would get. I assume that you know your basics of JavaScript. Learn how to refactor, and then get into the real game. Can you answer my question, please? What was your question? I do 6 hours job. How many hours should I study out of working hour? How many hours is not more? How many hours is not more? A working hour. As I said, I think I answered you. I think you can do minimum 20 minutes a day. I wouldn't do more than 3 to 4 hours. You want to give your brain rest in between things. It depends on your day. Again, frequency of exposure. I answered that question. I'm pretty sure if that's the question you're talking about. I wasn't expected. You pronounced my name perfect. Good. I'm glad I did that. Thank you. I won't even try it again. I don't want to ruin my perfect record. Hey, Stefan, what age did you start learning to code? Early 20s, like 20, 22, I guess, 21, something like that. For what kind of purpose is Java used generally? 2 things: server-side programming, web development stuff, and Android development. What's your opinion of game dev? Tough industry to get in. A lot of work, but tough industry to get in. Is it easy to be full stack in web developing? Yeah, I think so. You just got to put the time into it. The thing with development is that there's a high barrier to entry. So there's a barrier, it's like a wall. Web development, to get over that wall, that's the high barrier to entry. It means harder to learn it. But once you learn it, it's like, oh, now I understand. But because of the high barrier to entry, there's many more jobs available than there are developers. So if you can discipline yourself and just give yourself a chance to rewire your brain so you understand web development, then you're in that world. I consider coding a superpower. I didn't become a developer to become a developer. I became a developer because I saw it as a super valuable skill set. So it's do it. Just do it, man. You don't just keep pushing. I came at it from the point of view of a non-nerd. To give you an idea, before I went to development, I was thinking about becoming a professional fighter, to give you an idea who I was. Hi, Steph. When will you do a review video about Flutter 2? I would have to take a look at it. Hello from Chicago. Hey, how are you doing, man? Thanks for joining the stream. Hey, Steph. How do I become a better designer? For example, I don't want my site to look like amateurish. I would learn basic design principles: alignment, font use, color matching, that sort of things. I teach a little bit of that in my courses. You can look that up. Top 10 design principles for websites. Good design principles have been around for ages in book design and before the digital age. Most of those rules translate into web. You also want to look at UX design, user experience design as well. It goes hand in hand with UI. which is user interface design. There's a slight difference. User interface design is more about the aesthetics, how pretty it looks. And UX is how functional, how easy it is. All right, I'm going to be wrapping this up very soon. When learning to code, you can learn the point where you can make something work. What is a good way to learn to write good code, good design? By writing more and more and more and getting, if you look below, there are books on refactoring and design patterns that I would highly recommend that you pick up. That will level up your game. You do those books. Even if you did 25% of those books, it would level up your game in a big way, going way beyond most people. So those are the 2 books I would recommend. And then write code. Once again, I see people are giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate it. It's good for the algos. No code solutions won't make everyone a dev. Exactly. Is WordPress dead? Not even close. Not even close. All right. So once again, I'm coming up. You look for it. I'm going to be releasing a new type of training. It's going to be free, and it's going to be called The Daily Spells. It's Lizard Wizard Daily Spells. It's you'll be learning, but you'll be executing on Lizard Wizard principles. So I'm pretty excited about this. And so what happens? You sign up to a newsletter, and then once you're on the newsletter, every 2 days or so, I will be sending out your Lizard Wizard Daily Spells task, something for you to do. And why do you want to do it? You're going to want to do it because it's going to train your brain, and it's going to make you a much more formidable individual in all things. So that's coming out very soon. Hey Stef, love the random stream schedule. Currently working on some React challenges. At the moment, I'm building a slide out menu. Do you have a favorite JS framework? We use Vue. Have you ever used Svelte? I have not used that. So I'm of the general opinion that all the big frameworks are all probably pretty good. And they fall in and out of favor based on, who knows, circumstance. But they're all pretty good depending on what you need to do. So if you like it and it's productive for you and there's jobs, then do it. Yeah. No grape juice. No grape juice. It's a little early for me for grape juice. As I said, I'm fortunate that I'm not an addictive personality, so I can drink wine when I want or beer or whatever, but I just don't like being inebriated. I don't like that feeling. So I may drink once a week, once every 2 weeks. Sometimes I won't drink for 6 months. It's just not my thing. And it's not because I'm greater. It's just not my thing. Is it real that you're 169 years old? I'm actually a year older, but I'm sticking to 169. That's what I do now. Architecture matters. Thank you. Yeah, 100%. Architecture is more important than anything else. Yeah, exactly. How many people? 142 people now, and only 120 likes. It's pathetic. Hello from Iran. Thanks for joining the stream, dude. Cheers. By the way, I love Persian rugs. Fantastic artwork. What is the best reason why I should learn PHP? Jobs. What do you think about sites like Freelancer or Fiverr to start on the side? Why not? Especially to do the first 2 or 3 free jobs that I recommend that you do to get your feet wet in the game. Why not? They're very cool. All right, so 50 minutes. Okay, I'll do an even hour and then we'll sign off here. I'm going to jump ahead. Oh yeah, good here. Almost done with your Python course. Cool. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. What language should I learn? Python is a good first programming language, or you learn the web stack. They're all good. You should do that free webinar, by the way. Where is it? If you go here, you go to studioweb.com/mentoring, scroll down just a little, and you'll see this. Sign up for a free webinar, Coder's Career Path. It will help you understand why you might want to learn C++ versus JavaScript versus PHP versus Java, etc., etc. It's a free webinar. Join the newsletter, free webinar, and it will teach you all these things that I think will be useful to you, help you in your decision-making process. And the only reason I'm setting up the newsletter is because I hear from all the time from people who are subscribed to my YouTube channel or my Instagram, and they don't get notifications. So I just want to be able to send you guys direct notifications. What is Mona? Can I learn PHP instead of JavaScript? Why not? You probably have to learn a little bit of JavaScript, but once you learn one or the other becomes super easy. Can you arrange Zoom meeting for your followers? Allow up for the first 100 who book first. Well, we have Zoom meetings in the mentoring group, by the way. We have bi-weekly Zoom meetings. So if you're part of a mentoring group, you get access to Zoom meetings and all the benefits of having access to the Zoom meetings. So I reserve that for the mentoring group because I have only so much time in my day. Hello from Somalia, the great country. Somalia is cool. I had a friend of mine, she's from Somalia. Quite a nice person. I liked her a lot. Do I have to turn JavaScript? Can I? Okay, we saw that one. It's 12:13 a.m. here. Whoa. All right, so it's not bad. How old are you? 169 years old. 169. Your stream title is iconic. Hello from Greece. Hey, beautiful country. 29-year-old ECE student and full-time web dev here that hears your advice carefully. Well, thanks for joining the stream. And good friend of mine, several friends of mine are Greek, and they keep telling me to go visit Greece. They say it's a great, beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in the world, in fact. Yeah, cool. I am confused between to start with Python, but Flutter feature makes me attract itself. Well, first you have Wasif. You have to learn from Wasif, Kashmir. Kashmir, one of my favorite songs of all time. Go look it up, Kashmir from Led Zeppelin. Fantastic song. One of the best songs ever written in the 70s. But anyway, Wasif Kashmir. Doesn't matter. You should go do that seminar. It's free. You understand that whether you choose Python or you go to Flutter, Dart, it doesn't matter because you can pivot from one or the other pretty quickly. You've answered everybody's question except mine. Why? Because I'm skipping through. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Ask the question again. Also remember there's a lag in the stream. So you may have posted that minutes ago. Here it is. What are your thoughts? Here it is. What are your thoughts on the YI2 framework? I have never used it, so I don't have any specific thoughts on it. I think it's French based, right? French PHP based. I don't know. Sometimes I skip questions because I don't have an answer. That's simply it. How long have you been Wizard, Stefan? Very long time. Very long time. Hello from Ireland, by the way. I started studying psychology, if you will, and I started doing meditations in my teenage years. I started meditating back then, believe it or not. So I've been studying the lizard wizard for decades now in that regard. But, you learn a little bit of this, you learn a little bit here, a little bit there, and you put it all together, and that's what I have here. How old are you? 169 years old. You can read the title. Should I learn C as a first language, or just want to learn? If I just want to learn, you could. I think you might have more fun with a Python or something, because there's a visual component and stuff. But C's fine. Ruby in 2021. Ruby is so slow; it's still in 2018. No, Ruby is probably fine. It's probably fine. I had to give a little Ruby joke. Is it possible to create an app without a framework? Of course. Many apps were created without frameworks. Remind me when my grandmother used to say she's 21 holding with your age talk. That's the first time until I remind somebody of their grandmother. I've been told I remind them of their grandfather, but never the grandmother. So I'm glad I brought back those great family memories. 10 years as a web developer, both PHP and JS. What programming language should I go for to try something new? Python or maybe C++ for desktop apps? I don't know, man. Depends on the type of work that you want to do at this point in time. I would look around at job opportunities, see what type of programming you want to do, and just jump into that. See what's interesting to you. That's what I would do. Yep. You know, maybe it might be C# and the Unity engine. There we go. Maybe, I don't know. How can be open source developer with Java? No, just join a group and start contributing your code and see if they accept it. How many layers of inheritance? I don't like inheritance generally speaking. Good question though. I'll end with this nerdy question. So as a general rule, I am not somebody who's a big fan of inheritance, especially for code reuse and so forth. The only time I would use inheritance is if I had some very base foundational objects or classes that were pretty static. Generally speaking, if I want to do code reuse, I use composition rather than inheritance, because inheritance can become very brittle very quick. So that being said, if I was doing inheritance, I would do no more than one layer. Even that, I would be very reluctant. For me, composition is much better strategy and design pattern from code reuse, and also use interfaces to create your structure, if you will, within the application. Inheritance, one level max, don't use it often. That's my take on that. Have you mastered how to use your money? Yes, I have. That's why I got a money mastery course. You should check it out. It's on the Studioweb store. I answered that. Brazilian fan here. Hey, welcome to stream, Leonardo. Good. Hello from India. Here we go. Are you married? Perhaps I might be. I'm not sure. All right, guys. 1 hour has passed. I'll do one more question and I gotta go. So, thanks for hitting the thumbs ups, guys. And yeah, composition's the way to go, man. It's easier to debug. It's easier to extend. It's a much better strategy than inheritance overall. My school is changing me from Python to Java. Is this a smart move? They're both are fine. You know. You'll be able to pivot from one or the other. Is it illegal to subcontract out of a contract without informing the client? I don't know if it's illegal. It depends on what the expectation was, right? That's difficult to say. What was the expectation? Did you sell yourself as a developer or you sold yourself as a company? I don't know. And that legality really depends on where you happen to live in the world. Different laws, different places, you know. So there you go. All right, that's pretty much it. So I made those two announcements, so I'll just finish up with my announcements. First of all, I'm opening up the mentoring group again. If you want to join that, check it out, studioweb.com/mentoring. If you're totally new to coding, you may want to sign up to the newsletter for free. And you get the Coder's Career Path. It's a 29-minute webinar. And the webinar is a standalone thing. It doesn't really have, it just helps you understand the whole coding world for you. And that's number one. Number two, I'm putting out a new style course. It's going to be a push-based course by email. It's called Lizard Spells, the daily spells based on the Lizard Wizard training. There'll be an assumption in that course that you've done Lizard Wizard, so you understand the basic principles. And we're going to play with that, see how that goes. There you go. That's pretty much it. Thanks for joining the stream. I got to go. Coffee calls. And I appreciate you joining and giving me the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. So we'll end off with the ASMR. And yeah, we'll talk soon.